Ancalagon, often recognized and titled the Black, was the greatest of all winged fire drakes bred by Morgoth during the First Age. He was the largest dragon to have ever existed in Middle-earth. His appearance in history was restricted to the War of Wrath due to his limited exposure. So, my friends, welcome back to our vast databanks within the realm of Gondor, and welcome back to the ruined plains of Beleriand, as we have been accompanied by Eru Ilúvatar himself to explore the ancient history in order to uncover all the secrets and the true life behind Ancalagon the Black. Ancalagon the Black, most notably referenced during Silmarillion, was one of the most powerful dark entities in all of lore. This dark entity, this creature bred by Morgoth, malformed, was the greatest dragon to ever exist in all of Arda, and his power is not to be understated. During this time, there were probably only two other dark beings who had ever proven to be superior, with the second being Sauron and the first being Ungoliant. Ungoliant being one of the only beings that Melkor genuinely ever feared and nearly came close to killing them. If you wish to check more on this topic, check out my video on the One Channel to Rule Them All on this topic. Personally, I believe that Ancalagon the Black is one of the greatest characters in all of Tolkien's works, and today we will be taking a brief dive into his life and his restricted appearance to the War of Wrath, and his eventual death at the hands of Eärendil. So, my friends, stewards of Middle-earth, bearers of the One Ring of Power, and Rings of Power wearers, journey with us as we are accompanied on our host of Valinor ships by Eru Ilúvatar himself to explore the ancient history books of Ancalagon the Black. After Eärendil made his journey to Valinor to convince the Valar to overthrow Morgoth and rescue his overmatched and defeated elves in Edain, the host of Valinor made absolute devastating war upon Morgoth and destroyed his armies on the gates of Angband. Facing final defeat after the 42-year-long war, Morgoth unleashed his last and greatest weapon that he had been saving at the cusp of the war, to rip the hope of victory right out of the Valar, the men, and the elves' hands. A fleet of winged fire drake, led by Ancalagon, so terrible and devastating, decimating all the armies of the Valar was their onslaught, that the armies of the Valar themselves were driven back and repelled from the gates of Angband. Their coming was noted by J.R. Tolkien, and was stated to have been accompanied by a great thunder, lightning, and a tempest of fire. But Elendil came out of the west in his blessed ship Vingiloth, which had been accompanied and blessed by the Valar, accompanied by a myriad of the Eagles of Manwë, led by Thorondor, at the time the current lord of the Great Eagles. The Eagles and Eärendil duelled with Ancalagon and the other dragons for an entire day, an incredible testament to the history of the duel. Eventually, Eärendil was victorious, casting Ancalagon down upon Thangorodrim, destroying the Twin Towers, and decimating the volcanic mountains in his fall. The death of Ancalagon marked the end of Morgoth's final resistance, and extinguished the final hope for his resistance and for his victory. His later mentions are quite limited. However, we can state that Gandalf in the Fellowship of the Ring spoke of him as he told Frodo the true origin of Bilbo Baggins's ring after Bilbo departs the Shire for Rivendell. The quote goes as follows: "It has been said that dragon fire could melt and consume rings of power. There is now not any dragon left on this earth which hold fire is hot enough. Nor was there any dragon, not even Ancalagon the Black, who could have harmed the One Ring, the ruling ring, for that was made by Sauron himself." While Ancalagon's size is not specified, and the information we have on his stature is limited, he must have been a colossal size, due to the destructions of the towers of Thangorodrim in his ruin, which are elsewhere identified with 3 smoking peaks of those mountains. However, his size cannot be assumed to be larger than Thangorodrim. Some powerful, but comparatively small creatures are able to cause great destruction even in death, such as Durin's Bane, breaking the slopes of Kedbenlir, and dragging Gandalf, killing Gandalf the Grey, and forcing him to reincarnate as Gandalf the White. Well, my stewards, spies of Sauron, and Dunlendings, and hobbits from the Shire seeking adventure and glory, I hope that this has allowed you to prosper for your next adventure. Be sure to adorn yourself with your mithril coat, gather your dwarven armies, and plot out the landmass that you wish to invade, and I'll see you in the battlefield of Middle-earth.